This is Kevin Min with Outside the Games. Welcome to our show. We thank you so much for tuning in. We have a special guest with us today. This is going to be Elijah Fields. He's a class of 2023 linebacker and defensive end. He attends Legacy Sports Science High School in Texas. Hey, I tell you, his GPA is 3 point.
Five.
There we go, 3.5. Welcome to our show, Elijah.
What's up? Hey, everybody.
Start out with family because we believe that family is so important. You got mom and dad in the household. Elijah, break it down to me. What does family mean to you and why?
Everything. They keep me on the track, and my dad, he's not really in the sport, so he just makes sure my grades stay good. And my mom, she's over all the sports. And, my uncle, he's helping with recruiting because he went to Texas, so everything's good.
Wow, that's nice. Um, the thing with mom and dad, they play different parts in your life. Let's start out with dad. You kind of mentioned a little bit about him. What is it about dad that really helps you, to be strong mentally? Physically? What kind of things does he offer you as a student athlete?
He tell me that it's only two things in life to worry about, and that's grades and sports. He's more so on the grade side, so I just try to stay good in my grades to make him proud, and everything go good.
Is there sometimes a love between you two that's shown from him as your father?
Yes, sir, all the time. He's always supportive towards what I want and what I want to do. It just makes me feel more comfortable with my decisions in life.
Right. And let's talk about mom. What does mom do for you as a student athlete?
She's more hard on me with the having more effective in football and grades too. But she's always there supporting too, and she's she can be a lot, but it's for the best, and I know the love is always there.
Yes, definitely. We get into a little bit about mentorship. With mentors, they play a pivotal role too as well. It's kind of like the extension of the family. And so, with mentors, who are your mentors and why, Elijah?
My trainer Patrick from Performance Houston, and my other trainer Darren from Footwork, Texas Footwork, and they always there. They keep my body right. They tell me the inside, the outside of the game. They're also there with the grades too. So just amazing to have them with me on my side.
Oh wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. And there's a lot of experience when you're talking about those coaches, right? I mean, they provide a experience and support, right?
Yes, sir. All the time.
No
All
way,
right, sir.
no way.
Uh, they don't let me slack in anything, and they're gonna make sure that I have everything done and done on time. And also my head coach Daryl Williams, he thinks books is always first, and if we need something, he's always gonna have it for us.
There you go. There you go. It's powerful and strong. Um, let's get into a little bit about the aspect of academics because a lot of times we think of student athletes, it's going to be the player and the person. What you are off the field, character plays a part. But we look at the academics. You're rolling a 3.5 GPA now, of course, under COVID used a little bit.
Yeah.
So the aspect of grades is kind of in question, but I think again, the teachers are thinking in some way how to make sure that they can hold their students accountable. Um, Tell me through what academics mean to you and how you become a really good student. We know the athlete side of it, but as far as a student, what do you do to kind of prepare as a student to get those good grades?
Balance. You have to balance your time. Everything's online now, so I just stay on my grind. And, I have a class and I do it. And, you don't want to wait till the last minute to do it. Just finish it all so you have enough free time to get what you need done.
Yeah, I mean, the couple words that kind of stick to me is what a student athlete faces. One is procrastination. That's
Yes, sir.
a big one, right? Because we all have the same amount of time. It's just how we choose to fill it. The other thing is though is just time in itself. Making the time for things. How do you, as a student athlete, Elijah, make time for the books and really trying to make time for training and football and all those things, and especially let's be clear. You're a son too in the household, so you got chores, you got things to do that your parents expect of you. How do you handle and juggle all that?
In the beginning, I do school for 4 hours, and then I go to practice. And when I get home from practice, I just do all my chores and stuff. And I just try to balance all of that. And if you do it and you do it right, it won't take as long as you think. And it's a lot, but you could handle it if you balance your time right.
Sure, sure. I think again, it's balancing that time and how you do that. So yeah, I can agree with that. As far as in the classroom, Elijah, where do you sit in the classroom? Because we find it that student athletes, if you're in the back of the class, I mean, everybody has a difference. Sometimes there's assigned seating in classrooms, but right now you're in an online setting. So that's making it kind of interesting on how versus the classroom setting versus online. Isn't there more time management involved in the online class?
Uh, yes, sir. I have to set an alarm every day to get up. So, and when I was in class, I had to sit in the front because my eyes wasn't really good, so I had to sit in the front.
Nice, nice. Um, always trying to plan and organize, and definitely, I think organization and planning is big when it comes down to being a student athlete. Take me through as far as what your relationship is with your teachers, especially because again, you have that. There's the online setting, and there's being there in the classroom. They see you, you can talk to them verbally, but now in this online setting during COVID, because you guys haven't returned back to class yet, have you?
No, sir.
Okay, so in the online setting, you keep the lines of communication open with your teachers. Doesn't it require for you to kind of be more vocal and for you to kind of be motivated to try to get their attention?
Yes, yes, sir. My teacher, my reading teacher, and my math teacher, we have band, and I have my electives number, my teacher's number, and whenever I need something, I'll hit them up and tell them. And it's always an open communication relationship with us, so that's always a good thing.
Oh, that's good. Communication in every aspect, even football. But
Yes, sir.
communication is going to be key for you. Um, Take me how the relationship with the teacher is an important one, just like it is with the coach. How do you get the best out of your teacher? What things do you need to do in order to be successful in this virtual classroom that you're currently in?
Make it easier for them. A lot of people, they do a lot to the teachers, but if you help the teacher, get the work done, it's not that much you can worry about. And once you do that, you only have to focus on one thing once you finish everything. So I just try to make it easier for my teachers and show them as much respect as I can.
There you go. We don't let the teachers off by any
No.
means. What do the teachers have to do to make you a successful student athlete, Elijah? What are some things they have to possess?
Just break it down to me. Just give me the work how it is. Just explain it the right way. I'll ask if it's don't sound right, but yeah, just help me throughout the course and throughout the lesson, and everything goes good with us.
No, that's good. Here at Outside the Games, when we talk about the player and the person, we believe them as one because you can't have one without the other. Obviously, to demonstrate your ability on the field, you have to be doing something off the field. Tell me what Elijah does off the field to try to make it better for others when being a person that you are, Elijah.
I help a lot of people community service. My basketball team, we feed people in need, and I just stay on my grind. Also, when I have free time, I'll go jump rope or go run. Everything just stay good.
Under at your high school, being from your high school, tell me a little bit what that's been like. Now you've been there. Again, your class of 2023, so been a short little bit of time, but tell me what your experience has been with your high school at Legacy.
It's been amazing actually. They're running their school like a college campus, so we have to manage our time. And the owner of the school, Miss Carrie Brown, everything is she run it like a college. We have to manage our time. The teacher's going to give our course, and we have to do it. And once we finish that, you have enough free time to do what you got to do. You don't have to be locked in one class all day. So that's amazing.
Oh, that is amazing. Now, looking at the aspect of how you are able to, be at your, again, when do you guys go back to school, first of all?
I think January 21st, like mandatory.
Wow, they have it out there quite a way.
Yeah.
Um, so you return. So what do you have to prepare differently? And because some student athletes are watching this, do you have to prepare differently as being in school versus being online in a virtual setting?
You have to adapt to the environment. So yeah, once you start doing online, it get easier and easier. You just once you do that, you have to manage the time. And once you go back to school, you have to get back to that adaptation and bring your yeah.
How does Elijah Fields handle media? Now we're a media organization, and you look at different type of media that's out there. You have recruiting, you have all these other outlets, media outlets. How does Elijah Fields kind of, and again, your class of 2023, you're still learning some things, but how are you able to handle a lot of this media attention that you get? Because there's some people talking about you, about what it looks like as you're going to be a senior one day, what that time will look like. But they're really talking about you, that you're quite a student athlete.
Uh, my mom, she helps me a lot. She tells me what I need to say and what I need to do with the media. Most of the time, she's dealing with it, but when I do deal with it, I'll let them know how it is and what it is. I got really good at the interviewing and stuff, so just keep pushing.
So let's talk a little bit about the development that you get at Performance Houston. Take me through what organizations again you're part of, Performance Houston, and who else?
Performance Houston and Texas Footwork.
There you go. What do those organizations do for you? And we talked earlier in the interview about the mentorship that you receive, but let's talk about, your as a person, and let's even talk about your ability as a player. What kind of things do these organizations do with you to make you a better player on the field? And let's not let that go about being a good person too.
Performance Houston, Patrick, he helps me with speed and agility, and he helped me how to be a man. And Texas Footwork, they helped me with all kinds of things like my position and like how to play it. Every Sunday, I go with linebacker training, so they just teach me how to work and like how to use my hips and all of that.
Now, in some aspects, skilled players are in this 7-on-7 world. What linebackers? Do you kind of get involved a little bit of some of those skill positions? Quote unquote athlete.
Yes, sir. I feel like I can play any position on the field. You know, I feel like I can be versatile to anything. So wherever they need me to use me, I'm always up for it.
Elijah Fields, tell me how important footwork is to being a defensive end and linebacker on the defense. What kind of footwork? How is that important for a player in order to be successful?
No, you need footwork, because once you plan, the game is gonna speed up really fast. So, you have to at linebacker, you have to fill gaps, getting the coverages, drop back. So you have to have hips, your feet work gotta be good. And at the end, when you're running around the edge, you gotta be quick with it and you gotta drop your center of gravity and your feet work. It helps a lot because once you get that down, everything else will just fall into place.
We'll get into a little bit of the season at Legacy Sports, high school. Uh, Tell me a little bit about what you look for in an offense, on how you can kind of gain some momentum or make it to where you can make a great play on the field. What things do you look for in the offense to be able to get one up on them?
Yeah, the triangle, the running back guard and tackle, or I'll look how the O line is leaning. If they're leaning on their hands, or if they're back in a 2-point stand, then I can tell, and I tell the DBs, and I tell the D line what it is, if it's a pass or if it's a run. So we just look at how that is. Film helps a lot to see what it is.
You bring something great. I thought I just kind of noticed this. You kind of said you look at how the offense line, how they stand, what their stance is, or where they're leaning. Is that, I mean, a good offense is going to be deceptive when it comes to that and not showing you anything. Um,
Mhm.
There are some offenses that obviously do. You can tell where the play is going, what's going to happen. You can, and again, you have film on your opponent, but are these some very key things you can first glance at to know what's happening?
Oh yes, sir, all the time. The tackle, he'll lean. If he is pass blocking the run blocking, he'll lean to where he's going. And if he's pulling, you'll know because they're tight to the guard's hip. So everything is just, it'll help.
Now, in the position of defensive end, sometimes they can drop you down to a linebacker, right? What does your defense run at Legacy?
We're running a 4-2-5, the TCU defense, and we'll get in the 4-3. Sometimes if they have two running backs in, we'll drop back into the 4-3 stack.
So it's very important for you as a linebacker to really see where the quarterback's eyes are. What makes a really take us through? And again, you're a defensive player, so you have to know what that offense is doing. But from a quarterback standpoint, what makes a good quarterback? Because obviously, can they be deceptive on where they're going to throw? They kind of have to look off that player or that area in the field. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Our coach always tells us the quarterback lies. So we just have to look at the receiver and stay attached to his hip. And once you see the balls in the air, go make a play.
Is there something about your defense when you say you run somewhat of a TCU defense? Is there some blitzes that you guys try to be deceptive, in, especially bringing over somebody from the secondary to sometimes come in and do a blitz?
No, yes, sir. I'll tell my rover that if he's going, I'll drop back into where his coverages was. If he going or if I'm going, they'll drop back into my coverage. So we just got to communicate on the field all the time.
Obviously, there's hand signals because I'm sure it can get kind of loud.
Yes, sir.
Tell
All
me,
the time.
tell me what community means to you there at your high school and the town, the city, the people around you. How important is community to your high school football team?
We try to stay clean. Make sure the community stays healthy. Everybody needs, if somebody needs help, we're always there for them and cleaning up. We have basketball games at our gym every Saturday. So we just an open place where everybody can hang out and, feel at home.
So you play a little bit of basketball too. What's that been like, and how long have you been playing basketball, my friend?
It's amazing. I've been playing since I've been 6. I wasn't really good till I got older, and I was a big man. Then I played a little bit of guard, and it's just amazing how it is. So you just gotta. It keeps me healthy.
Any siblings beat up on you to make you better?
I have 2 sisters, and my brothers, they live in South Carolina, so I hardly see them. But when I do, we fight.
I bet you there's a lot of competition in there between your sisters and your brothers, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Take me through, as far as your season, let's talk a little bit about Legacy, your high school. What was your season like last year, and what did you find out about you, yourself, and your teammates? How did you guys do, and how did you guys get better?
We wasn't really good last year, but we came together as a team, so we just saw the ups and downs. And as the seniors went away this year, we just came together as a team more often. We're having a better season than we did last year. So that's one thing we can say on the upside.
You always find something more about yourself. Elijah, what did you find in yourself as a teammate to your brothers? And I would call that sometimes a teammate you refer to your brothers on the field because you guys go through so much. What is it that you found out about yourself as a teammate?
Just how to be a leader, to keep my brothers up when we're down and just help them get through the day. School, if they need help with school, I'm always there for them. On the field, if they need help, we just got to stay together. In my position, I was like a leader on the D line, so I just have to make sure that everybody stay good and healthy.
A lot of student athletes have talked about leadership from a standpoint of either being vocal or by example. Elijah, take me through. Are those things? Is it both for you, or is it one or the other?
Yeah, it's always both. It has to be both. You can't be a vocal leader if you're not a leader on the field. At your position and doing what you need to do. Some people, they don't talk a lot and they just show it with their actions. So you have to be full speed every play.
They talk a lot about quarterbacks having poise in the pocket and making good reads downfield. Does a defensive end or a linebacker in your position and what you play, do you have to have some kind of level of poise?
Oh, yes, all the time. I have to stay calm. Our coach always say calm, cool, collected. And, we always have to be ready for everything. Once you make a mistake, on to the next play. You just have to have the next play mindset.
What is your relationship with your high school coach in your position? What kind of relationship do you and your coach have? And head coach, we'll even throw him in there.
My position coach, we have a tough love relationship. He's not going to hold his tongue for anything, and he's always going to show love. If we make a mistake, he's going to tell us and going to pull us to the side and let us know and how to get better. And it's just amazing. And the head coach, his relationship with us is he's gonna let us know how to get it done. He's gonna lead by actions and example. And if there's something that we need, he's gonna be there for us. So, his relationship with us is always a love relationship, and it's amazing.
A student athlete always looks at what their strengths and their weaknesses are. Take me through, Elijah. What are your strengths? Because a lot of times, hey, we'll talk about weaknesses because a lot of players don't like to talk about that. But talk about your strengths. What do you do well and on the field?
I'm fast I'm standing up at the end, so I have upside, and I can beat a tackle any day, and it actually helps a lot. So I can see the field. I can play man. I can play a zone, and it's amazing.
What's your height and weight?
6'1", 240.
There you go. And so, is there some aspect of technique involved, especially playing the defensive end position, getting around the tackles, getting to the quarterback, obviously pursuing the quarterback, the ball? Is there some technique involved?
Hands, we have to have hands when you're at tackle, when you're at end going against the tackle. You have to keep them guessing on what you have to do. And every day we do a pursuit drill, so we know how to pursue, and 11 has to the ball.
Obviously, you take an inventory as far as what you're doing, how you can get better. So here we talk about a little bit of the weaknesses that you're want to get better, Elijah. What are some of those weaknesses that you're working on?
I have to get stronger, because it'd be some big tackles. So I just have to get stronger, and I have good balance, so I have to just work on that more and use that to my advantage.
Something to be said, especially these correlate together. There's something about that first step that you make. You use it in basketball, you can use it in football, especially on the defensive end. Tell me how important that first step is and how quick it has to be.
If you have a quick first step, it's good for you. And once you use it, you have to stay tight to the tackle if you have a quick first step, so that they can't open up and get their hands on you. So if you use that, then you could go a long way.
Do you have a favorite play that you like to run on the defensive? Is there a play called on the defense that you love to run?
When it's third down and our coach calls out, I'll line up a little bit outside. I'll line up in the seven, and I could just rush straight to the quarterback. So it's amazing. I love it.
Tell me what your goals are. I mean, we're under this COVID-19 situation that everybody all over the nation in the United States are going through, especially with delays of having to come back to play football, schools being delayed. Tell me what you're doing to kind of keep your mind right, to be prepared, to be mentally ready and focused. What things are you doing?
I'll read. Our coaches tell us we have to read a book every month, and I'll do that. I'll have meditation and ice baths. I just try to stay healthy and keep my body right through the whole COVID.
Sounds like you're for your body mentally and physically, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For the season this year, what does the season look like this year? And do you guys have a schedule ready to go?
Yes, sir. We already played 4 games, and we have a game tomorrow actually against Kincaid. So everything is good. Just have to stay ready for the next fight.
No, there you go. What is the goal for the season though? Is it a shorter, obviously, schedule due to COVID? And what do you and your teammates want to get out of this year?
State championship always. We trying to make it to the playoffs, and once we get there, try to win it all.
Who are who are your rivals in their conference?
Kincaid actually, that's our rival, Cornerstone. So they we play them tomorrow, and we just trying to come out with a win.
A lot of different regions in the United States, they all claim, we're the best pipeline, we're the best here and there. What makes Texas so special when you talk about the players in it, the coaches, the teams? What makes Texas a huge pipeline and as far as all those things together when it comes to the aspect of recruiting and when it talks about talent?
The football, sports, you have athletes, everybody different and committed to their sport. So I just feel like we have the best athletes in sports. Everybody say it don't get bigger than Texas. It's, people say it for a reason, and we just take it serious down here.
Yeah, I could assume so, definitely. One word to describe this season, how you want to finish it.
Strong. I want to finish strong. We want to get it done, get the job done.
Well, hey, I tell you, we have on with us, if you're just joining us, this is Elijah Fields, class of 2023, defensive end and linebacker out of Legacy Sports Complex, right, in Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And again, the GPA 3.5, is that something that you're continuing to work on? Obviously, under COVID, different things when it comes to the school, grades and everything, but you're continuing trying to strive hard. What ways are you trying to do that under this COVID with virtual online assistance and working with your teachers?
I try to, my job is to get my work done, but I want to make sure it's done right. 3.5 isn't good enough. We want 4.0. So I just try to make sure I stay above 85 at all times.
Nice, nice. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a pleasure to have you, Elijah Fields. Definitely give you credit, putting in that grind. And also the other thing too is being a good person, because I think a lot of that has to be said is that your character speaks above everything, because I think your play on the field comes right with that.
Yes, sir.
We have here Elijah Fields, class 2023, linebacker and defensive end at Legacy Sports Complex High School in Texas. GPA 3.5. It's a pleasure to have you on our show, and we appreciate you being on Outside the Games.
Thank you. Thank you.
But we're not done. We have this thing called the Quick Blitz, my friend. We're going to get to know you even more on a personal level. Favorite food, my friend?
Pizza. It's pizza. Favorite food is pizza. It's amazing.
Favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
Nice, nice. Apple or Android, and why?
I have an iPhone. Technology is just better. Just have to stay high tech.
If Elijah could drive any car or SUV, what would it be?
Tahoe. Sir?
Loaded.
Um,
Loaded with stuff in it. Loaded with a lot of things in it.
oh, yeah, yes, sir. All the time.
You got to bring your teammates, man. You guys got a caravan together, right?
Yes, sir. They always want to ride, so we have to pick them up.
Exactly. If you had to travel anywhere, any destination in the world that you would love to go, Elijah, where would that be?
I would want to go to France because it's beautiful down there. So I would just want to go and explore.
The first student athlete I think that has said France. I like that. That's really nice. Let's get serious on a couple points. If you were running late somewhere, Elijah, and you had to let somebody know something, could be a coach, your family, parents, would you call or text, and why?
I would definitely call so that they would know I was all right, And I just feel like if you text, I don't know, it probably wouldn't mean nothing. I always thought that for some reason. So I would call.
If you found somebody struggling with something, because again, there's that aspect of being very observant when it comes to your classmates or a person in need. What would you do to help them? How could you assist somebody, say they're new in the school, or what kind of things do you look for in being observant?
I'll see if anybody's struggling, and if they need help, I would definitely help them. And I would just make sure that everybody's good. So, because a lot of people, they have problems within school, so you just have to make sure that you're always there for them.
I tell you, we don't leave this out from a student athlete perspective, but there's a lot of things going on in our country right now in 2020. A lot of people have said there's been a lot of struggle. Tell me what this, 'cause some people want to say, man, 2020, can we just stick a fork in it and get rid of it. We're ready for 2021. What are the things we've seen from an aspect of police brutality and people of color? What has that meant for you, and you seeing that? How has that affected you?
Watching our people go down, it's tough. So, I'm just trying to make it out. Once I get there, I can help my community and help everybody. And, it's a lot of things with politics, and, we just try not to worry about all of that and just focus on what we can do and focus on what we can change. We just have a tough go right now, so everybody can make a change once we get there.
If there was one thing that you could change in the world, Elijah, and make an impact on, what would that be?
Cops, I would help cops look at everybody the same, everybody have equal rights, because a lot of people don't see it like that. So if you could do that, then you can accomplish anything.
I mean, do you think it's a little bit of training that's probably needed? Training and ways of how they can be better police? I
feel like it's kind of more of home training than training, what people grew up in, the household. So, maybe it's on parents or on the family members that they were living with, but if anything, training.
Let's get light on this. A couple things here. One is, what is your favorite cleat?
My favorite cleat is Under Armour Spotlight. I like those cleats.
What's your favorite shoe to wear?
Air Forces. I have a lot of them.
I got you. If you what was the last movie you saw? Now there's no movie theaters open, but what was the last movie you just saw?
Bad Boys for Life.
Who is your favorite musical artist? I know you got a bunch, but who stands?
My favorite musical artist, probably Biggie, or because I don't really listen to a lot of people, but it's probably Biggie.
Hey, you taking it back to Biggie Smith? Okay, I see you towards B.I.G. I got you. Well, I tell you, one last question, and I know you'll get this right because, hey, you're a student athlete. You know it, right? Would you prefer, this is what you would prefer, would you prefer having some Air Force Ones that you just bought in a box and you open the box when you get home and it's got a big, huge scar on that Air Force One? Or would you rather be on Outside the Game show?
Outside the Game show.
There you go, Elijah. Hey, my friend, it's been a pleasure to have you on our show. We appreciate you making the time. Shout out to Texas out there. Much love. We've been there for the End Zone tournament that's been in. So I know that we look forward to that every year. But I tell you, we wish you the best. We'll definitely check in with you. We will hopefully get a chance to make it to a game. We'd love to do that. We wish you the best in online school and hopefully get back to school and playing on the field, and you as a person. We wish you the best, my man.
Thank you.
This has been Elijah Fields, class of 2023. Boy, look out for him. Linebacker, defensive end, quarterbacks, be scared. He's coming after you. And we tell you, GPA of 3.5, we don't let that go because, again, academics and the player are important. Thank you again. We appreciate Elijah.
Thank you. Appreciate everybody that watched.